I'm Rick Prasad.
And I'm Chad Koran with the Kimberley Fire Department.
And welcome to the City of Kimberley Emergency Preparedness video. As we know, Kimberley is surrounded by forests, which during fire season obviously has the potential to put our tourists and tourism businesses in harm's way.
Remember to prepare early for the upcoming fire season, and if wildfire threatens, follow these last-minute steps to protect your staff and guests, and to reduce damage to your business.
Stay safe, monitor conditions, and get alerts for your area. Always evacuate your facility if you feel it's unsafe to stay. Do not wait for an emergency notification if you feel threatened by a fire. Sign up for community alerts in your area and be aware of the emergency alert system.
If wildfire may be nearby, put your safety plan into action.
A safety plan has 3 levels: no alert, on alert, and evacuation. During a no alert phase, you should have your safety plan prepared in advance, and components should be shared with your guests. On alert means an evacuation alert has been issued. In this phase of your safety plan, make sure your vehicles have a full tank of gas or fully charged, and be prepared to evacuate in a moment's notice. Ensure that a special notice of the alert is conveyed to guests. They must be advised of the nature of the warning and that an evacuation order could be imminent. Make sure that you have a complete record of your guests and their whereabouts. Know your evacuation zone.
During an evacuation order, all guests must be accounted for, whereabouts or intentions should be known, and this information must be provided to the fire department. Follow determined emergency routes safely and with urgency. Monitor official communication channels for critical alerts that may affect routes.
Always evacuate if you feel it's unsafe to stay. Do not wait to receive an emergency notification if you feel threatened by a fire.
Begin last-minute preparations. Note that employees may need time to prep their homes as well.
Know your evacuation zone. You may have to evacuate quickly. Know your community's emergency response plan and have a plan for where to go. Follow instructions from local authorities. They will provide the latest recommended routes for leaving your location.
Shut off gas supply to your commercial property. It's standard practice by emergency response to shut off gas supply to prevent feeding a fire. Doing so yourself reduces risks to your structure.
It is critical that you have an evacuation plan in place. Taking into account that an order could be issued at any time, day or night, this evacuation plan should include how you'll communicate with guests and customers, as guests must be notified directly and accounted for. How will you protect your valuable property and equipment, etc.? Do you need to take it somewhere? Do you need to cover it? And lastly, how will you physically evacuate? What routes will you take? Note that you should have more than one evacuation route option.
A few other things to consider are to start planning for insurance and recovery. Another key aspect of your business preparedness is collecting insurance documents and financial records. Ahead of the wildfire season, call your insurance provider to understand what your coverage entails. Even if the fire is growing stronger near you, you can still call your insurer to understand what you need. You may want to create a wildfire document bug-out bag for your business. This is the box or bag you would grab and take with you during an evacuation. You should also take photos of your business ahead of the wildfire to document what it looked like before the fire came through. Make sure you get photos of your equipment and key assets, like your fleet of vehicles, to make the insurance process smoother.
Understand the needs of smoke-sensitive guests and employees. You don't need to be living near a wildfire-prone area to be affected by the flames. Smoke from the fires outside of our region can diminish air quality to unhealthy levels, as it did in 2021. As an employer and a host, it is your job to ensure that you have a safe working environment for your guests and your team. For example, you may need to keep guests and employees inside. Have respiratory protection on hand. Have a plan to move affected workers to different locations or implement remote work to keep them safe. If the smoke is moving toward your area, develop a plan for your team and determine whether the situation is severe enough to close your business until it's safe for everyone to return. Another thing to keep in mind is to fire smart your buildings and property.
By introducing fire smart philosophies to buildings and property, you can create defensible space that prevents fires from advancing and endangering homes and lives. Reduce the probability that wind-driven embers falling far ahead of the wildfire will ignite a fire on or around your business. Thanks for watching.